#1 movie in the US on Amazon Prime. Apparently views skyrocketed quite a bit after the Pope's passing. Came out October 2024. May have been a boring movie otherwise, but with the recent events, it's quite relevant and I think very interesting. So if you want a fairly accurate view of what it's like at the Vatican after a Pope leaves and they have to decide a new Pope, check this movie out. It's a bit of a slow burn for sure. It's a bit of an intellectual thriller. Powerful performances from Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow. The list goes on. But this is definitely a Ray Fiennes movie. So if you like Ray Fiennes, which I do, and any of the other stuff sounds interesting to you, check this movie out. Let me know what you think. Review over for all of you that are just left. For the rest of you, let's talk about it. I didn't realize how curious I'd be about the goings on at the Vatican and with the Pope and the cardinals and all those other people until I started watching this movie. We just kind of decided to see it just out of the blue because, of the recent events with the Pope. And even though it's been contested about the exact political levels they go to in this film, apparently all the rest of it's very accurate. There's a ritual to it all, a pageantry to it. There's an order to which things are done. And one of the main people that keeps this order is Ray Fiennes' character, Cardinal Lawrence. He's basically the guy that runs the show. He's not the Pope, but he's the guy that's kind of keeping all the pieces moving, keeping everybody honest. And he's doing so amongst a landscape that is shifting quite dramatically. You start to realize there's many people vying for the position of being Pope. The power involved is very attractive to a lot of these people, perhaps too attractive. And a lot of these people have baggage attached to them. They repeated over and over again that a lot of the popes that they've had in history have had some kind of baggage, some kind of black mark attached to them, but they still were Pope. So they're kind of thrust in a position where they have to potentially choose the lesser of I don't want to say two evils, but choose the lesser of ideal candidates, which sounds very similar to events of today. It works very well. I don't think this is like a direct parallel to what we are seeing in our lives right now. I think this is, I guess you could call it an alternate reality, but a lot of things are very similar. The only thing negative I would say about this movie, aside from it being long and slow, if you don't like that, you might not be interested. But there is a tone to this movie and a build up to this movie that's very strong. It feels like like a murder whodunit. And it kind of goes up and then it kind of turns into more of like a religious political thriller. And then it turns into something introspective and new. I almost want to say it's a little bit too far left field near the end. I understand it. I do like what happens. I won't ruin it. But the movie, it kind of tricks you a bit, which I'm still on the fence about. I don't know if I like how it ended. Just because, again, it started out so strong. It had such a big build-up. And then by the end of it, okay, I'll say one minor spoiler. What actually happens at the end is far less of a problem than what they were dealing with earlier on in the movie. Far less, I think. Still, powerful performances. Again, Ray Fiennes is killing it. He is the monster in the room. He's just doing such a good job emoting and giving you a character that feels unlike the actor. Beautiful scenes, beautiful shows of pageantry and ritual. Say what you will about being stuck in one's ways. They do have a fancy way of showing it. And the coolest part is there's a blending of old and new. There's a lot of new technology used apparently there. It sounds like from what I was reading, a lot of this is very accurate to what we see today. It's interesting to see what historic values they hold on to and what they don't. For example, my wife kept mentioning the lighting. How do they get all this awesome lighting and like high-tech room equipment and whatnot in these rooms? Because again, these buildings are super old. It feels almost like a modernized fortress. There's just people and guards and just religious officials everywhere. Even though they're supposed to be sequestered, they're sequestered. It's like a beehive. All kinds of ways for things to kind of leak through and influence these elections. Check this out if you want to be a fly on the wall at the Vatican, seeing how they vote for a new pope. The rest of it, take it with a grain of salt. Fantastic performances again. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we'll talk later.